Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Inna hamdulillah nahmaduhu nasta'inuhu wa nastaghfiruh wa na'udhu billahi min shururi anfusina wa min sayyiati a'malina min yahdihillahu fala mudilla lahu wa min yudlil fala hadiya lahu wa ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika lahu wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluhu sallallahu alayhi wa sallam tasliman kathiran amma ba'du. Ahlan wa sahlan, barakallahu feekum, jazakumullahu khair. S24 Protection Self-Defense Academy would like to thank our supporters for giving their time that one really does not have by listening and sharing and hopefully benefiting from our videos / lessons. May Allah wa ta'ala bless and reward y'all with paradise of the highest level of Firdaus, the highest level of Jannah. Barakallahu feekum, jazakumullahu khayr. Ameen. We will continue with this inshallah ta'ala benefit for maybe a first timer, which I find very important. Okay? Find it very important because unfortunately, a lot of us is going to wind up in these situations, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect us. Ameen. Part 4 of our Part 10 series, or series Part 10. It's 4. It's 4. This is 4 out of 10. It's going to be a 10-part series on how to protect yourself when being incarcerated, jailed, how to protect yourself when being arrested, jailed, or incarcerated. For the first time, this is for first timers that maybe never even made it to the system, never even been arrested or something to this effect. That they need to know what to expect so they will not become a victim. This is what this whole lecture series is about, basically. To give people the information so one be able to protect themselves if so happen. That they have embarked upon this mission that Allah Ta'ala have chosen for them to go through for whatever reason. Allahu A'lam. Okay? So, and Allah knows best. But it is a reality that some of us wind up there for the most heinous of crimes, or we wind up there for some of the most stupendous crimes, or the lowest level things that really wasn't about protecting yourself or your family or your property. And you know what I'm talking about. So, inshallah ta'ala, let someone that been there, done that, give you this information of experience, not just book lessons, the one that been through the trenches. Okay? And this is what this is about. Barakallahu feekum. So one who probably never been to prison, never know what to expect. They see movies, they hear people talking about it. But we're going to give you some more inside information that'll be a benefit, inshallah ta'ala, if one was to ever wind up in this position. Now, and it's mainly for first timers, as I said before. It's not repeat offenders. It's mainly for one timers, people who, go to court. Oh, you're going to do some time. Oh man, I got to go to jail for what? Tickets, child support, taxes, whatever it may be, domestic violence. There got to be nothing crazy, Accuse someone, accuse you, could be self-defense. You never got a chance to prove your case because you got into an altercation with someone in the street. and there was not enough proof or evidence to prove that you didn't attack this person. So both of you get arrested. You got to go to jail. You got to go to prison, so forth like this here, whatever the case may be. Okay, so from that, and this is basically for that first timer or that person when the judge say, or the so-called judge say, hey, you're going to prison. You got to do 6 months, 30 days, 1 month, 2 months, whatever, 10 years, whatever the case is. This is to give you that information hand first, what to expect, basically, in Charlotte. So knowledge precedes speech and action. Okay, we know that knowledge precedes speech and action. So we're going to go through some basic things that are very important for that first timer who's sleepless nights. He can't sleep. He know he's got to turn himself in. He know he's going to the prison system. He know he got to go to the jail. He know handcuffs going to be placed upon him. He never been here before. He never done this before. Or she, So, we're going to continue. And this is for that particular people. So we're going to go through the do's. So some of the things that one must do, or something to this effect, in order to survive that situation that Allah Ta'ala had placed them in for whatever reason. Okay. Or that person had placed themselves in that position by being neglectful or disobedient to Allah Ta'ala. So I said always be aware of your surroundings. And always be aware of your surroundings. And this is like one of the things that we teach. Let me elaborate on these a little bit because I'm trying to keep this video short, inshallah, because I'm running out of time on them. So the thing is that always, be careful, be aware of your surroundings at all times. Be aware of what's going on around you, you don't have to act panicky or something like this here. And we have like a zone that you go through, a code of awareness training. But the first thing you want to always not be in white zone. Okay, white zone is being oblivious. So you want to make sure that you're not unaware. That's the oblivious when you're not aware of your surroundings. You just just there. How about yellow? Yellow is a comfortable state. Is when you're aware, you're alert, but you're comfortable. You relax. You're not edgy, you're not looking around, panicky, stuff like that. There, you're in control of your situation. So these are the things that even there with code of awareness that we get into in short time. So you want to always try to be in yellow whenever there, if you're ever there in short time. So these are the do's and don'ts, and these things are essential. These are essential needs for one's survival. Okay, while being incarcerated. Okay, always be aware of your surroundings, as I said before. Always be aware of the guy over here. He's the bully. He's taking people's phone time. You see the guy in and out of people's cells. You see the guy over here taking people's food. You see a group of people, groupieism, his BIA. You see the people, they in party and shit. They got a group over here. You got gangs over here. Always watch out who's running around, who's talking to the guards, who's the guards talking to. Because the guards are sometimes could be, the worstest of people that's there. So you want to make sure that you always, I always said, eyes and ears open, mouth shut. Always pay attention. So this is one thing you always have to do so that, won't become a victim. Okay. Number two, always follow and obey the rules. Always follow and obey the rules. Always follow and obey the rules. Always. Okay. So it's very important that you remember that. Always be ready for anything. Always be ready for anything at all times. I'm talking about all times. You want to try. You don't be walking around there looking weak. You want to get. Put your head up. Be ready. Just always be ready for anything. Because anything can happen in there. I mean, at the spirit of the moment, stuff just happens. And next thing you know, you caught up somewhere. Getting hurt. You got caught up in a stabbing. People stabbing people. It happens. It goes down. So I'm just letting you know. That, you always got to be ready for anything. Somebody might sucker punch you. They could be pranking people. I dare you to do this. I dare you to do that. Go over there and take his food from him. Go over there and do this, So you got to always be ready for the bullies. And, the people that's just there just to cause people problems. So you always got to, be ready for anything. Always be assertive and not aggressive. Always be assertive. Always be assertive and not aggressive. Always be ready to defend yourself if you have to. Never be the aggressor. Never walk around trying to be a bully, or acting like you're the tough guy and stuff like this. Be yourself. If that's your mannerism, then I say to tone it down unless you're really looking for some problems. So the bottom line is you just want to make sure that you're assertive, that you speak up. You don't want to be meek and people say stuff to you and you just like yes, stuff like this here. So you want to be a man at all times. You want to be a woman at all times. There's nothing to be afraid of. They bleed like you bleed, and this is the reality. They bleed like you bleed. They die like you die. Not saying that this is the example I'm trying to give you, but I'm saying that if it had to come to that, because some things you just can't prevent. So if you come to that, you gotta be ready to be assertive. You gotta be ready to defend yourself. You gotta be ready to speak up for yourself and so forth like this here. You can't be the person that won't fight back. You can't be the person that not willing to defend yourself and protect yourself. And you got to speak up. You got to tell people when they rub you the wrong way. You ain't got to be aggressive. You like, look, man, that's enough for that. And it may go somewhere after that, but you have to be able to speak up because a lot of people are watching, a lot of people are listening, and you don't want to make yourself a target, okay? So this is, make sure that you don't become a target or a victim for the aggressor, the criminal. Basically, that's what's going on, okay? That's the violent inmate. So always be assertive, not aggressive. Now, number 5, remember names, faces, and places. Always remember your nouns. Remember your name, faces, and places, people, places, and things. Because why? You want to make sure that the guy's name who you was talking to, or the person that engaged with you. You remember CO names and so forth like this. So you got to really be on your situation awareness, identity detection. You really got to be on that. You got to be able to identify things real fast. What's his name? So forth like this here. The place you're located, the location of the place. Where was you at? And basically, and faces. You want to memorize faces. It's real important, Shaltad. You probably figure out why, because you never know. You just never know what might happen, and you want to make sure that you remember these things that I just told you, which was name, faces, and places. Okay. It's a learning experience. You're going to go through some things. So you're in a whole different world. You're in the belly of the beast. You're in the belly of the beast, and, you got the worst of the people in there. So why wouldn't you want to be alert? Why wouldn't you want to know name, faces, and places? You know what I'm saying? So always remember that, inshallah. So number 6, always be a man or a woman and respect it for your dignity. Always be a man, always be a man or woman, women go to prison as well, they get arrested as well, so I'm talking to the sisters as well, always make sure that you are respected for who you are, don't let nobody belittle you, because once that happens, then you got a problem, you got a problem, so you want to make sure that, you just, you respect people and you want to be respected, and that's just the bottom line. You respect people and you want to be respected. So, you want to make sure that you stand up for yourself, stand your own grounds. Don't, this is what it is. So, you can't become somebody prize in that thing, So you just want to make sure, inshallah, that you remember this, that, you have to be a man. The same people that's in the street is the same people in there, okay? It's no different. The same way you walk to that corner store, you see people on the corner, gang, that's the same dude or same female that's inside of that prison system with you at that particular time. So you don't change who you are. You just, become more smart or something like this here. Not to ever want to go back to these situations, but what it is what it is at this particular time. So they always, like I said, they was like the 6 points that I gave you on basic fundamental points, that, that you can use or one can use if they find out that they ever was going to be incarcerated for whatever the case may be. Now, so some of the things are don'ts. What are the don'ts? The don'ts is never start a conversation. Never start a conversation with someone you don't know. You know how some people get Joe familiar. They, they're afraid, so they trying to buddy up to people, right? You got some cruel people in there. These people have killed their mother, their fathers. They even killed their own children. They have burnt houses down. They have done some of the most heinous of crimes. A lot of them. So you don't want to start a conversation with a person like that. Because it shows a sign of weakness. It shows that you become familiar, and they also they got a lot to hide. So they's like, who this guy trying to talk to me, and you become a suspect at that particular time because they trying to figure out or identify who is this guy. So now they run around asking people, this guy, this guy, this guy, who is this, who this, and 9 out of 10 you're gonna become a target, okay? Because he's unsure about who you are, asking questions. So that's like you on the street. You wouldn't walk up on the street on your block and ask somebody, what their name was, or trying to start a conversation. And if you are that type of person, but in this situation in prison or being incarcerated, this is one of the things that you do not do. This is not like basically number one thing you don't do, okay? Because you will make yourself a target. Point number 2 on don'ts: never take anything from a stranger or someone you don't know. Meaning that, if person come up and be like, yo, hey man, you want this? You be like, no, I don't know, I'm good, I don't want that. You know what I mean? Thanks a lot though, you know what I mean? Or you don't have to say thank you, you can just say, no, I'm good. Whatever the case is. So because people try to give you things in there to the point where is that, you understand, you become a victim, you become a target. If you accept something from a stranger, the same thing applies to children, stranger danger. If your person come up to you, especially in this situation, and they hand you a cake or some cookies or extra sandwich, whatever, believe me, that ain't free. That is not free. I'm gonna give it to you. That is not free. They coming back for something, some kind of way. Even when you go to commissary, they're gonna come in your cell and your bunk, whatever, and take whatever they want. Say, remember I gave you this? It wasn't free. Somebody tried to give you phone time. Somebody tried to give you this. Somebody tried to give you stuff that you never even asked for. Then these people are preying upon you for a comeback, basically. Okay? So, you don't ever want to accept anything from anyone, especially the ones that you don't know. Okay? Never take anything from a stranger or someone you don't know. So, and know before going to prison, Know before going to prison. Meaning that, you should know these things. You should know these things. So it's real important. All right? Never sit on another person's bed. Bunk. Okay? Never sit on their bed or even go in their cell. Okay? Because, sitting on a person's bed in the prison is a violation. It's a very violation. And being incarcerated, even if you share the cell or you're in that pod with the individual in that room or that cell, then guess what happens? You better not never sit on a bed because that is disrespect. And if you does sit on a bed, they allowed you, then you sit down the other end where is that their head is not at. And I'm just giving you pointers so that you won't make this mistake, okay? You sitting on, because you got the top bunk, you sit on somebody's bed, he comes in, now he's ready to fight. Now he's ready to fight you because you sat on his bed, and you put your behind on his bed. I'm just giving you the things that, are very, very essential. They're important, and it will help you in this situation to survive and be able to come out, be with your family, and you may not wind up in prison for the rest of your life for that or killing someone or getting killed. This is the reality, okay? This is a real talk program. This is what we do, okay? Everything that we do, whether it's mental, lecture, physical, self-defense, combat, whatever it is, we're going to try to give you the real deal. So, never sit on another person's bed, meaning bunk, or never go in a person's cell without permission, okay? Never touch nobody's property, things like this here, and never let nobody touch yours, okay? Next point is never become a part of a clique or a gang. How some people come, they see the strong group and they want to be part of that because they're afraid. Now, some people come to prison, honestly, and they see the Muslims is big in numbers there. Muslims is the majority as far as, religion and so forth like this. And, the people come there and the first thing I want to become Muslim. Is this right or is this wrong? I leave that between that person and Allah. I don't know. But the thing is that You do not want to become part of a clique or a gang. If you see people separate themselves from the rest of the people, but they are the people that's causing problems with other people, they run around bullying people, so forth like this here, and taking their stuff, then no, you don't want to be a part of that, because you're only doing it because you're afraid, and they know this. So you're going to have to do some type of initiation. You have to do something to be part of that. And really, that ain't who you are. And if you are that type of person, then may Lord guide you and me. So the thing is that because you want to be a man at all times, you don't want to be a follower. You are a leader. You're not there to follow no one but the rules, okay? And to get your butt up out of there. So that's the main thing, inshallah. So never become a part of a clique or a gang, Yes, there are cliques. There are people who separate themselves from the rest of the people. And you got to make sure that if you do decide to be part of something, that it is something that is beneficial. These people are moving in a way that is solid, that is good, that is righteous, that's higher, and you want to make sure that you're upon that. Alhamdulillah, Islam and the Sunnah, the correct Islam. People are practicing the correct Islam in the Sunnah. Not just say, okay, because he's Muslim with his Kufi, I'm going to go ahead with him and come to find he's Sufiya, he's a Shia or something like this here, Hizbi, these groups, Qadariya, Suriya, you understand? So you want to make sure that you're among the people upon that's following the way of the Salaf, the people that's following the way of the correct understanding of Islam, the people that's, or even if you see them doing things wrong, but the information that they're giving you is correct, So a lot of times we judge Muslims go to prison. You see the righteous Muslim, you see the non-righteous Muslim. So we're not there to judge no one. We just basically there to do our time or something like this there, and you get up out of there, okay? So inshallah, that's real important, because you're going to see Muslims there that unfortunately doing things. They're smoking cigarettes. You might see some doing this. You might see some doing that. And it's not to put nothing bad out about the Muslims, because the Muslim blood and sacred honor is sacred with me. And but I must tell the truth about what you're going to see. You're going to see these things. Don't let it. It's like out here you see it. Don't let that discourage you. Get around the people that's practice the Kitab and the Sunnah, the Quran and the Sunnah, understood by the way of the righteous predecessors and so forth like this. And whereas that you can get the correct Islam, so that when you make Tawbah, your Salat will be accepted. Your Dua will be accepted, because you have no innovation in your Aqidah and your Minhaj. So it's real important, inshallah, that you know this, so that your Dua can be accepted. Barakallahu feekum, because that's what you have to make Dua to Allah and ask Allah for forgiveness. Astaghfiruka wa atubu alayh. So you're going to have to ask Allah Ta'ala for that, inshallah, or beg Allah Ta'ala for that. Now, never sit on another person's bunk and never become part of a clique. And the last point, never ever give up hope. Never ever give up hope, because this is like one of the most important. At the end of the thing is that, you have to go through that tunnel, as I said before. You're going to have to go through these things. You're going to have to go through the channels. You're going to have to go through what everyone else is go through. You're there for a reason. Either you commit a crime or you didn't commit a crime. But Allah Ta'ala have allowed you or put you in that position for a reason. So inshallah Ta'ala, you accept it, the call of Allah. You get through it. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, inshallah Ta'ala. And you move on from there and try not to never come back to that facility or be handcuffed ever again in your life. And it's very important, inshallah Ta'ala. So, I'm going to stop here because my time is running out. Inshallah Ta'ala. I know everyone is busy. And I'd like to thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for giving me the time to deliver this message, to give this information to the world in general. Not just to the Muslims, but to the world in general. Okay? So inshallah Ta'ala, that being said, سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك واشهد ان لا اله الا انت واستغفرك واتوب عليك. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.